Have you ever been stuck in traffic and wondered if there's more to it than just chaos? Today, we're going to look past the usual gridlock and dive into a wild theory that suggests the cars around you might be part of a hidden, silent order.
So think about it. We all just assume the traffic on our daily commute is a mess, right? Just a random jumble of people trying to get from A to B. But what if it isn't? What if there's actually a kind of language being spoken in the way cars move, stop, and turn?
And that's really the heart of it, isn't it? Most of the time, we're just on autopilot. But our source material today challenges us to switch that off. Because once you start noticing these little patterns, they suddenly stop feeling like simple coincidences.
Now, we're not just talking about a hunch here. We're about to dig into a specific series of events, all documented over one single, very strange week. So let's break down the evidence one piece at a time.
So here's how it all went down. It kicks off on March 6th with something pretty subtle, a spotter. But things escalate really fast over the next 7 days, from quiet observation to a secret handoff and finally to some seriously intense physical maneuvers. Let's start at the beginning.
It all begins with something you'd probably ignore 100 times over. Just a guy on a scooter, waiting by the side of the road. But the key here isn't what he was doing, but the timing of when he did it. That's what gives the game away.
I mean, look at this precision. The rider doesn't move randomly. He moves at a very specific distance, 2 electric poles away. He doesn't just drive off, he overtakes, not once, but twice, before parking himself at a strategic choke point up ahead. This isn't just bad driving. The source is pretty clear. This was a signal.
Okay, so fast forward 3 days and the game gets a lot more complex. This time, the whole operation is hiding behind something you see every single day. A couple of people taking a selfie.
Again, it's all in the little details. The angle of the phone, it's not aimed for a good selfie, it's perfectly framing a few key things in the background. And the moment the light turns green, that taxi gets some kind of unseen signal and just disappears. This wasn't a photo op. This was intel being passed right out in the open. So, the very next day, the whole vibe shifts. We go from broad daylight to the middle of the night, and things start to feel way more like a spy movie. All that daytime subtlety? That's gone.
Picture this, a car moving like a ghost, lights off. A motorcycle waiting, a laptop bag is passed from one to the other, fast. And then, poof, both of them just melt back into the darkness. The stakes are clearly getting higher here. We've gone from just watching to a physical handoff. The plot is definitely thickening.
And this is where everything changes. The actions are no longer just about looking or signaling. Now they become physical. They start directly interacting with traffic in a way that is just, well, it's stunningly coordinated.
The source actually gives this a name, the L block. And trust me, this is a perfect example of professional, tactical driving. This isn't something that happens by accident. This takes multiple drivers working together in perfect sync to basically own the road.
Okay, let's walk through this. First, they set the trap. 3 big SUVs box in the car. Then comes the drill, a super aggressive move to take control. But here's the craziest part. Once they're through the intersection, they don't just speed off. No, they fall into a protective formation.
And that right there tells you everything. The point wasn't road rage. The aggression served a purpose. And once that purpose was met, the mission switched from hostile blocking to disciplined protection. That's a level of coordination you'd expect from, a professional security team.
And for the grand finale of this very weird week, we have what might be the most chilling event of all. This was a calculated test of skill done on a live, public road.
I mean, just think about this. The truck doesn't just pull out by mistake. It waits for the absolute last second, the most dangerous moment possible. And here's the kicker. There are people in another car just watching, phones to their ears confirming what happened. This was no accident. This was a test. So, what do you do with all this? A spotter? A fake selfie, a midnight drop, a tactical block, and a staged near miss. On their own, they're just bizarre stories. But what happens when you string them all together? Well, this is where the source puts forward its big idea.
On one side, you've got the world we think we live in, right? It's all just random traffic, bad drivers, and weird coincidences. But on the other side is what was actually observed, a world full of intent, coordination, and purpose. The evidence really seems to push us from that first column over to the second. And this is what the source calls it, the sacred yellow chain. Now, this isn't some formal group you can Google. It's a theory. It's the idea that there's this invisible network of protectors, operating just beneath the surface of our everyday lives, keeping things in order in ways we can't even see.
It's a pretty mind-blowing theory for sure. But let's bring it back to Earth for a second. Why should any of this matter to us, just trying to get through our day?
Because the whole point is this: the peace and quiet we take for granted, it doesn't just happen by accident. The theory suggests it's actively maintained, often by people we'll never know, doing things we'll never, ever see. And this quote just nails it. It argues that this whole strange, hidden world of tactical driving exists for one reason: so that the quiet, peaceful reality of our own lives can continue, totally undisturbed. The chaos on the road is managed so our lives can stay calm.
It's a powerful and honestly a kind of reassuring thought, right? That even when we feel like we're just one more car in a sea of random traffic, there might be a deeper order, a system of vigilance holding it all together.
And that's really the question to leave you with. Are you just going to go back to seeing random cars on autopilot? Or maybe, just maybe, you'll start to see the signs of that hidden order, the subtle signals, and the silent guardians on duty. The next time you're out there, what will you really see?